Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakak Radash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who I learned this truth. Shalom to the brothers who pushing this truth, gospel, and sincerity to the four corners of the earth to wake up the elect. And to the elect, I say shalom.
Today's topic will be meditating on these scriptures day and night.
For us to understand and remember and walk in it daily according to the scriptures provided to us by Yahawah. And we're going to be reading this out of the 1611 KJV Bible. So a covenant is not just a casual agreement. It is a blinding relationship established by Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushua with his people. Throughout the scriptures, we see that Yahawah has always dealt with his people through covenants. Setting forth his laws, promises, and expectations. That's what the covenant bringeth. And in Genesis chapter 17, which is my first scripture, in verse 7, the Most High says to Abraham, I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and they see after thee in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a power unto thee, and to thou seed after thee. This shows us that the covenant was not Salakia. This shows us that the covenant was not temporarily. It was established for generations. It was built on promises, obedience, and relationships. So Exodus, which is another precept, Exodus chapter 19 and verse 5 declares, now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me, and Salakia, above all people. So we'll be a peculiar treasure above all people to Yahawah. For all the earth is mine. Here we see the conditions of the covenant. The blessings is tied to obedience. Yahawah, the Most High, calls his people to hear his voice and keep his commandments. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 9 reminds us this. And it reads, know therefore that the Lord thy power, he is vital to meditate on the scriptures day and night, according to the 1611 KJV King James Bible. Psalms, now I have a precept, Psalms chapter 1 and verse 1 says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, but his delight is in the law of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushua, and his law does he meditate day and night. This is the foundation, the blessing. Man separate himself from the world and stays rooted in the laws of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushua through continuously meditation. Salakia. Psalms chapter 1 and 3 continues by saying, and he shall be like a tree planted by the river of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. This shows stability. When you meditate day and night, you become spiritually nurtured, unmovable, and fruitful even in trials and tribulations. Now let's jump over to the book of Joshua, verse 1, so like chapter 1 and verse 8. And it reads, also commands, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night. So Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushua made it clear. Success and spiritual strength comes from consistent meditation and obedience to the word. Now in Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 6, it reads, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and then thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. And when thou layest down, and when thou risest up, when thou risest up, the word is meant to govern every part of the body. Every part of the body. Salakia. Morning, night, home, and walk. So Psalms, again, I have another precept in Psalms chapter 19 and verse 97. And it declares that, or it says that, so Psalms chapter 119 and verse 97, which is another precept, and this says, oh, how thou law. Oh, how love I thou law. Salakia. So how love I thou law. It is my meditation all the day. So it say, oh, how love I thou law. It is my meditation all the day. So how I love your instruction, I think about them all day. It's like a woman you really care about, and you grew feelings for her. You just met her, and you really growing feelings for her. This shows the mindset of the righteous, continuously focus on the law of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushua, bringing understanding and wisdom to themselves by seeking this knowledge, being followers and meditating on this scripture day and night. Psalms 119 and 11, we're going to jump down, same chapter, just jumping down a couple, more than a couple verses, but jumping down to the 11th verse. It says that they word have I hid in my heart. So the Most High say, they word have he hid in their heart, that I may not sin against thee. Meditation is protection. When the word is inside you, it becomes a defense against temptation. Now this is Matthew chapter 4 and verse 4 says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahawah. Just as the body needs daily food, the spirit needs daily scriptures. Now, this is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 22. Now, the reason I'm jumping verse to verse like this, because I'm really trying to string together what the scriptures are saying more than what I am telling you. This is what's important at the end of the day, if you understanding these scriptures and you meditating on these scriptures. That's why this video is done specifically in this style. But to keep continuing on in this verse, it's Matthew, Salakia, in Matthew chapter 4 and verse 4 says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahawah. Just as the body needs daily food, the spirit needs it also. You have to repeat that over and over to yourself as a reminder, because you will quickly forget this. And James chapter 1 and verse 22 reminds us that, but be ye doers of the word. It say, be ye doers of the word and not hearers only. So true meditation leads to actions. It changes how we live, speak, and walk. So the scriptures make it clear, meditate day and night. Stay rooted in the word of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and let it guide you and let it be a fulfilling success in your life. Let it build success and be a fulfilling life, because this is the only way to gain salvation.